This episode of Sports Addict Live, brought to you by First Round Collectibles. From now until January the 4th, First Round Collectibles has 50%, up to 50% off of thousands of cards. Go to firstroundcollectibles.com, enter the code Sports Addict for an additional 10% off. That means if a card is 20% off, you get it for 30% off, you get it for 40% off, you get it for 50% off. That's right, 60% off. Firstroundcollectibles.com, enter the code Sports Addict, and you will receive an extra 10% off. And if a card is not on sale, well, guess what? You still get 10% off. Go to firstroundcollectibles.com. That's the number one, STRoundcollectibles.com. First Round Collectibles, sports cards for sports fans.
All I hear, go get the money, so I go get it. Hate means I do something right, so I'ma let him. Yeah, I'ma let him, yeah, I'ma let him. I hit the nail on the head, yeah, I'ma let him. All I hear, go get the money, so I go get it. Hate means I do something right, so I'ma let him. Yeah, I'ma let him, yeah, I'ma let him. I hit the nail on the head.
Hey, good morning. Happy Sunday. Hope you've had a wonderful weekend. This is Sports Addict Live. Going to talk some bets in the NFL today. If you have been paying attention to us over the past week, we started our NHL show on Monday. If you've been checking that out, thank you so much. I hope you've enjoyed it. My brothers John and Andre have been doing this with me, and we're super proud of it, and we're super happy. So tomorrow, 3:30 p.m. EST, we are back. 2 out of 3 yesterday in our best bets, and I'll be completely honest, the one that flopped was on me. So these guys picking great picks, but also excellent insight when it comes to the NHL. Today, not going to be a long one. I'm just talking about some football, going through some bets today. Later in the week, my boy Tom will come back with me, and we'll go through some stuff that's been going on in the baseball world. Of course, what happens today in the NFL. And like I said, tomorrow through Friday, 3:30 p.m. EST, the boys and I will go through the NHL. Not a wonderfully easy week, in my opinion, when it comes to betting winners and spreads this week in the NFL. The first game, 1:00 p.m. EST, the Falcons against the Carolina Panthers. I think the obvious pick here is the Falcons. The spread was -3.5 earlier in the day. It is now -2.5. And I'll be real with you. I know that the money line is -158 for the Falcons. I have a really hard time trusting the spread with this team. They win weird games, right? They're winning games by 2 points, by 1 point. However, with the -2.5, I do like that much better than the 3.5. That's at -120. I will be picking the Falcons. I don't trust what I'm seeing from this team. However, I trust it way more than what I'm seeing from the Panthers. Ritter could go off for 300 yards, or he could have 120. It's just kind of who knows. I do like the -2.5 better than the previous 3.5. So I will be picking the Falcons at minus 2.5. The next one up, Chicago and Cleveland. Now, I really like what we're seeing from Joe Flacco, man. It's a throwback. I love it. The guy still has a cannon. He's still chucking the ball like 50 yards down the field. However, I think the Bears are just rolling right now. I think they found something. I think they're going. Last 4 weeks, 5 weeks, what we've seen from Justin Fields, I really like. And I think this team's just clicking. And so plus 2.5 now, minus 104. I would even consider the money line here, plus 120. I really like the Bears at plus 120. The defense does scare me from the Browns, but the defense hasn't been the defense that we've come to love over the first half of the year. So I'm taking the Bears here, plus 2.5. But maybe even the money line plus 120. With the Texans and the Titans, I probably just, I don't know, probably stay away from this game. Minus 176. For the Titans to win, not the best value. Minus 3.5. Can see the Texans maybe making this close. However, with Stroud doubtful for today's game, Tank Dell out, Collins questionable, who are they getting the ball to? And the defense has been okay. But this Titans team can move the ball right now. And so for me, it's either Titans on the spread minus 3.5, or just, I don't know, don't bet it. That's for me. The under 37.5 is also a little bit tempting for me. I don't think there's a ton of points in this game. But I'm probably just not going to touch it. The Chiefs and the Patriots. Now minus 400 for the money line for the Chiefs, which, to be honest with you, to me seems a little bit much. I know that it's Patrick Mahomes. I know that it's Andy Reid, Travis Kelce, all that. I get it. All right. But this team has not been moving the ball very well. The defense has been good, but not great. And the Patriots defense is phenomenal. Like, they're still playing at a tremendously high level. So for me, I mean, I'm not picking them on the money line for sure, but not even in parlay either. I don't trust this Chiefs team. Plus 8.5 for the Patriots is minus 115. This is one of those weird ones, right, where you look like a fool if you bet against Patrick Mahomes, even on the road. But to me, I just don't trust it. I don't trust this team to move the ball. I don't trust their receivers. Travis Kelce's been okay, but he's not the normal Travis Kelce that we know. So for me, I'm either picking Patriots plus 8.5, or I'm just kind of staying away. Also, to touch on what everyone's been talking about the whole week, I'm the last person to talk about it. It's been talked about the whole week. But that whole shindig on the, like, after the game, like last week, to me, that was a really bad look. I didn't like it. I understand that you're competitive. I do think some in the moment self-awareness is super important. It is no secret that the Chiefs have been on the favorable side of hundreds of calls. All right. The Super Bowl, I know I'm an Eagles fan, but let's just be real. The Super Bowl being one of them, right? Like Patrick Mahomes saying, you don't want the end of the game to be decided by the refs, blah, 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 take away greatness. That holding call last year in the Super Bowl took away one of the best endings of any Super Bowl we've ever seen. That was an incredible game. It would have been 35-35 if the Eagles can make the stop. And like we're talking about, well, 38-35, whatever the score was, right? Would have been a one-score game. The Eagles would have had time, blah, blah, blah. I'm just saying, to whine like that and to go to Josh Allen to whine like that, I'm just not really feeling this team right now. And I think the pass defense is still phenomenal. And I can see the Patriots covering this spread. Not to win. I'm not getting that crazy. But plus 8.5, minus 115, I don't hate it. Moving on to the Giants and the Saints. So maybe I'm just getting caught up in the hype, the mania, the mafia. Maybe the mafia has convinced me. I won't tell. I like the Giants in this spot. I think the offense for the Saints has been sporadic at best. I think the defense is okay. I think the Giants have been playing really good football the last few weeks. I would just ride the hot hand. I mean, plus 5.5 for sure. Like plus 5.5, 100%, absolutely. Minus 112. I really like that bet. Plus 194 to me seems like, I don't know, disrespectful, maybe even disrespectful. I don't know. I think the Saints minus 235 is super rich. I don't trust this team, and I like plus 194 to take the money line for the Giants. Moving on to the Jets and the Dolphins. So I think this defense for the Dolphins is super gettable. What version of Zach Wilson? He had a phenomenal game last week, maybe his best game ever. Is that enough to kind of rope me in? I don't know. Tyreek Hill is questionable to playing. They have, I think, just like one running back healthy right now. I do think if you start taking pieces away from Tua, I don't trust it. I still don't think I would go, that crazy to bet the plus 330 money line for the Jets. However, plus 8.5, I don't hate it. I like the plus 9.5 better a couple hours ago, but plus 8.5 for the Jets, I don't hate it. Probably staying away from this game, but I don't hate the plus 8.5. The Buccaneers and the Packers, I've been kind of going back and forth with this game. To me, I think in Lambeau, I like what we're seeing from this Packers team. I like what we're seeing from Jordan Love. Tough game Monday night. But I mean, this Bucs team, I think they can keep it close. I think I like plus 3.5 here, minus 115. I don't love the money line either way. You can probably convince me to take the Buccaneers plus 154, but to me, I really like plus 3.5. That defense is pretty banged up for the Packers as well as the Buccaneers. But I like Baker Mayfield to kind of come in and keep this game close. I mean, Mike Evans is still playing at a very high level. I really like that bet plus 3.5, minus 115. San Francisco Cardinals, I'm not touching that game. Spread's too big. 49ers probably will cover. Excuse me. But I'm not touching that game. Washington and Los Angeles. I'm taking Rams minus 6.5 all day. I like the way that their defense has been playing. I like the way that this offense is absolutely clicking. Probably the healthiest offense that they've had all year long. I'm taking the Rams minus 6.5. I think Stafford goes for like 300 plus yards today. I really like what Cooper Kupp's been doing. I like the Rams. Not much more to say. Minus 6.5. The Cowboys and the Bills. This is where things get a little interesting for me. On the one hand, I really want to take the Bills here. I think the Bills are coming in at a very good spot. I think they've been playing very well. Last week wasn't the cleanest game, but they got the job done. The game against the Eagles, they were outstanding offensively. The thing that makes me hesitant to take the Bills over the Cowboys is that if we're talking about the defenses, there's no doubt that the offense for the Cowboys has been playing more consistent. That's 100% facts. The defense for the Bills against the Cowboys is just no match. This Bills defense has been banged up for most of the year. The defense for the Cowboys has been playing at a very high level. I want to take the Bills here. I really do. The spread is super close. We're talking plus 2.5. I don't know. Money line for the Cowboys plus 108. I want to take the Bills here. I want to believe, but that defensive disparity is just way too much for me. I'm taking the Cowboys at plus 108. Going to take a quick break, and we'll come back with more bets on this Sunday NFL. Getting you ready for the day.
All I hear, go get the money. So I go get it. Hate means I do something right. So I'ma let him. Yeah, I'ma let him. Yeah, I'ma let him. I hit the nail on the head. Yeah, I'ma let him. All I hear, go get the money. So I go get it. Hate means I do something right. So I'ma let him. Yeah, I'ma let him. Yeah, I'ma let him. I hit the nail on the head. Yeah, I'ma let him. All I hear, go get the money. So I go get it. Hate means I do something right. So I'ma let him. Yeah, I'ma let him. Yeah, I'ma let him. I hit the nail on the head. Yeah, I'ma let him. All I hear, go get the money. So I go get it. Hate means I do something right. So I'ma let him. Yeah, I'ma let him. Yeah, I'ma let him. I hit the nail on the head. Yeah, I'ma let him.
All right, welcome back. I mean, full disclosure, I'm home alone, and my 1.5-year-old son's crying over there. I gotta take care of him. But we're gonna finish this up with the Baltimore Ravens and the Jacksonville Jaguars. And this is just kind of the reality of it. Baltimore's huge favorites here in minus 196, minus 3.5 on the spread. I think if you're thinking that the Ravens will win this game and they're that heavily favored minus 196, then I'm taking the minus 3.5. I think the Jacksonville defense have been fraudulent all year. Even when they've been playing well, the like super nerdy stats, DVOA, EP, blah, blah, blah. The Jacksonville defense has been borderline fraudulent the whole season. And I just like where Baltimore is at right now. I think their offense has been playing pretty well. The defensive side, I just think that the defense does concern me for Baltimore, but to me, I'm picking Baltimore all day long. The money line is way too much for me, but minus 3.5, I'll take that all day long. Those are my quick thoughts on the NFL this morning. Thank you for joining me. We will see you tomorrow, 3:30 p.m. We'll be talking about the NHL and come back later as well. My boy Tom and I will be going through what we've been seeing in the baseball world, some crazy stuff, some crazy signings. The Dodgers are just taking over the world. We'll be talking about the NBA and go through, of course, what happens today in the NFL. Again, firstroundcollectibles.com, sports addict for 10%. I'll see you later.
Go